Strip 11.5% on Meta. I'm going to trim these right away. I was. Didn't trim quick enough. Nope, I did not trim quick enough. Got an Easy Inch Pro on Meta to the downside. We do have that level there, so be careful. I did. I got my trim on it, so I'm still hanging on to 5 here. We'll see what this wants to do. We do have an Easy Inch Pro on Meta to the downside, so I'm just going to get my puts ready just in case it works out. $680 puts if we go that route. In Meta. MU producing Easy Inch Pro. We got Tesla with an Easy Inch Pro. Thank you, Meta. Just watching. Want to see that 3-minute candle close below. Got about 2 minutes left in there. See if she wants to hold or if she's going to go. I'm out Meta. Wait for the next one to show up. Watching Tesla to see if it wants to break. I'll get back into Meta here. Usually, like I said, you got 3 to 4 candles to work out. Palantir's pushing hard. Remember, you got to be persistent. You got to be persistent. We got an Easy Incher Pro on Meta to the upside. Got a break outside that Aura B. And like Amir was saying, we got the 200 there. So watch the 200 on the daily. Got a nice magnet there. Here we go. We hit our target on Meta. Selling half there. Right there. Sold half right there. And I'm going on my swing trade here. I'm going to take a little bit off of that. My overnighter I took. So there we go. We're crushing it. Got stopped out on that contract to the downside. Now we're looking for the CIZ here to the upside. Like I said, you just have to be persistent. You can't let one little stop out get you. Double down on the second one, and life is good. So far I'm up $1,400 on that. So we're going to hang on to that contract. We're going to get those trailers going. Yes, taking another one off here. Nice. Come on, you guys. You know this is nice. You know it. You know it. Look at that move. Look at that move. She got the groove. Look at that move. Break it down. Up 78% on Meta, you guys. Look at that. On the one, I got up 78% on one. And we got the original buy-in on that was, those calls were $3.65, and those are up $6 right now. High was $6.60. No complaints there whatsoever. This is what you get for focusing in on one ticker, and you focus in really well. Made our money back plus some. So let's hang on to these trailers. Let's get to the back side of the crush it zone. Come on, you guys. You know this is good. You know this is good. I lost $302 on that, and then I made $1,500 on it. So we're up about 72%. So good. And the reason why you take that first one that did break is I used the 15-second chart for that full candle break. So that's why I get into the trade, but I get out quick. You can see that the full move on this is 2 or 3 times the move than the stop out was. So you should be 3 times as much, and that's it. So if I lost 300 and I'm 3 times as much, I'm up 15. So that's about 3 times the stop out. And we're still moving. We're still moving. $91%. Okay, you guys, we are up $500 per contract on Meta, on the one trade. And the other trade, we are up almost 400. So $350 per contract on that one. Tesla putting together a easy entry pro to the upside. Nice. Come on, you guys. You got to love this. Look at that move. Look at that move. Hell yeah. Woo. We're rocking it. We are rocking it right there. I should say we're crushing it. $1,700. We're up 112% on Meta. Let's keep that sucker going. Let's keep it going. Let's watch for another trade possibly here on Tesla here. I'm watching this. Ooh, nice. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at it? I think I might try some Tesla here. Only going to take a few contracts. Not a lot. Got about a minute 20 left in this 3-minute candle. We're underneath the 200 SMA on the daily. Okay. 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 You got to love this, man. You got to love it. Sitting flat right now. I'm flat. Jumped out of meta there. Woo, what a nice win. What a nice win. If you ask me why I took that Easy Entry Pro to the downside, because it followed my criteria. I had everything I needed, and once I said this in the mic, you got to be persistent. You can't be afraid of losing the first trade, because unless you're a meteorologist and you know how to predict all this stuff, or they don't even know how to predict. But we're not meteorologists. We just have to play by the rules and let probability play it out. The reason why we take this, we have a CIZ trade setting up right now, ORB CIZ trade on meta to the downside. ORB CIZ trade meta to the downside. Okay, let's let that set up. You got to be persistent, because you don't know. This thing could have just, beelined it for the crush it zone. You don't know how far she's going to pull back. I know, you could easily say, well, there was this, there was that, there was a pre-market low. But I can show you plenty of ones that actually don't follow. I think the Easy Entry Pro, oops, let me get rid of that there, actually gives us a nice clear direction, a better direction than the actual levels of the pre-market daily lows and whatnot. And I'll show you that here in a little bit. So Meta did bounce. It had that pre-market low there. Let's see if we get a CIZ rejection here. I believe there's a CIZ there, isn't there? Am I wrong? Yeah, we got a signal on it. We got a CIZ. Oh, that's Tesla. Right? Let's see where I'm at here. Yeah, we got a CIZ push. Meta's looking strong. What else we got to look at here? NQ is inside of a range, which is obviously the 15-minute ORB. So the CIT Range Pro has produced a range that is the ORB, which tells me if we get an ORB break here, then we're looking good. We need an ORB break on NQ, and things are looking good. So no CIZ trade on Meta. She's a no-go. But what I like about Meta is we have a retest. We have a CIZ crush it zone area, break and retest. We retested the zone, which was the ORB area there. Let's see if that wants to break. It's pushing weekly highs. It's Friday, so be careful on it. And then Tesla keeps trying to push an Easy Incher Pro, but it's kind of wicky. Right now, the ticker to look at for me is Meta, so we might get one more play. Look for a possible leg reset coming up here, possibly too. What's the ATR? DTR on this is $12. So our full range on here is about $12. Yeah. So showing our daily true range right now is about $12, and then the overall is 19. It's been about $19. Nice. I double quadrupled down on Meta on the second one. So if I miss the first one, I just go off of straight math and probability. And if I take 3 contracts on the first one and I lose, then I'll take 6 contracts on the next one. And if I lose, I'll take 12 contracts on the next one. If you understand the math, I keep data on these every single day. So if you understand the math on these, right, and if you understand the probability and how math works, you're going to end up winning. So I ended up crushing it here on Meta to the upside. And you can see that the upward move is 3 times the move of the stop out. So when I got stopped out on that second candle, we want to call it to the upside, had Easy Incher Pro, it turned green. Right when it turned green, before we even had the Easy Incher Pro on there, I got out of that trade, and I was down $300. Took 6 more to the upside, right? And we were up $100 a contract, over $100. Added to that trade when we got above the 200. Added 6 more, so it really crushed it. Got a leg reset. We're coming back through the crush it zone here on Meta. Let's see. I got you. I suppose, were you in meetings working? It's kind of tough to multitask when you're trying to trade. I have a tough time here talking in the mic and doing this too. I'm trying to trade in 2 different accounts here at the same time. MU breaking the CIZ. Look for that retest there. So watching that Easy Incher Pro and Tesla to the downside. We're revisiting it. And we do get a bear trend signal here, so we're waiting for that break. I will try some of this to the downside possibly. I'll be looking at 390 puts. They're pretty cheap, that's why. They're very cheap. but nothing so far. If I try it, I'll just try maybe one or two. But other than that, I'm pretty much done for the day. So MU retesting the crush it zone. Watch MU retest the crush it zone for continuation to the downside. Sitting flat right now. Considering Tesla, if we break the easy entry pro to the downside, I'm considering a small position on that. Looking for the leg reset. We do have a leg reset on Meta also. You can see that right here. So let's look for this break right here. Watch your 15-second chart for a full candle break. If you want to take that down, we've got enough distance to the cloud where we can get to that 20 EMA. And then we have MU retesting the CIZ zone, the crush it zone. And if this rejects, then we have MU to the downside. And we also have Tesla, so just watching that. Be careful on MU. It's pretty choppy. I mean, it's a easy one to lose your ass on. So be careful on it. So still waiting on Meta 2. Meta's got a leg reset. It's in the middle of one. So if we break below 683.50, 683.50, if we break below that, we could see a move down to the 200 again, which is about 681.50 is what I'd look for a target. Quick scalp move, but I want to get an entire candle below that level on the 10-second chart for an entry on that. Same thing with Tesla. Looking for an entire candle on the 15-second here to break below 393.50. You can see right now it's taking its time. NQ pushing up out of the CIT range. We got an easy entry pro also. I'm going to focus on NQ here for just a second, you guys. Also have high volume. So I'm looking for a break here in the smaller time frame. There we go. In NQ. Got filled on that one already. So what I do is on the futures, I put a buy order in at this level right here. Whoops. So if you're looking at the futures, I put a buy order in right at this level. And if price gets there, it buys, and you can see that we got that, and I already got one fill on it. So, and that we got a break on that too. So we got the green triangle here. So we're looking good. I got the trim on there. I'm going to hang on to a trailer here. 1 micro, just 1 micro. We'll hang on to that for a while. See if we can't get something out of that. Meta, is it going to break? Nice retest there. So we retested the easy entry pro to the downside. You got that purple candle, right? So now all we got to do is break this next level, and we might have continuation to the upside. Watch NQ. Nice retest of the Easy Incher Pro on NQ. See if it wants to continue the upside, if we're going to pull on. Tesla's holding pre-market highs, right? Or a pre-market level I have in there. So there's really nothing to do at the moment, you guys. The only thing I can really focus on right now is NQ. Taking small micros, 5 to 10 micros at a time. Got one trailer right now. Nice fill there. Got another scalp move on NQ. So we're just chilling. Waiting for another trade. I like that you took that trade to the downside here on Meta, Brian, and then you got back into it the second time around, because in order to win, in order to to get these consistently, like I said, you guys, you have to be persistent day in and day out. If you miss the first one and it doesn't work out, which you have no clue whether it's going to work or not. You really don't. You had a pre-market low there, maybe not. I don't even know if that's correct. Showing a pre-market low. Let me double check that. I don't even think. No, we didn't even have a pre-market low there. I'm gonna get this off the chart. That doesn't even line up correctly. These are gone. There's a level there, but I just can't figure out which one it is yet. But anyways, that's a good reason why you don't want to have multiple indicators on your chart, because you'll start going through this psychological battle, this mental struggle of what's going to happen. If you just keep your one indicator with all the probabilities worked out on it and just play by it and don't worry about anything else other than things like the daily levels, right? And the cloud stuff, where you're at there. Some minor stuff, some guides to help you with that trade. Little bit of lesson there for you. I like Tesla to the downside here, you guys. I'm watching this one here. But I do like the fact that you took it, because you got to be persistent. And these things work out. These things work out, 90% of the time. So you'd really be silly not to take the second trade and double down on it. In my opinion, I guess I should say. This is not financial advice. You always got to throw that disclaimer in there, right? This is not financial advice. Pure entertainment. So still watching Tesla. I think Tesla could make a quick break. If I do take it, it's going to be a very small position. And I'll get out quick. I'll look for the bottom of that ORB right there. Low a day. And then we'll look for the 9 EMA on the daily. But you'll see in the recap. I'll do the recap here for Tesla and Meta at the end of the day here. And you'll see, like I say this every day, when it's go time, right? And you have to take the trade, or you should be taking the trade, right? And you don't, and you convince yourself not to take it. You talk yourself out because you got all these things in there. And then the day goes by, you go back and look at it and go, oh yeah, that did work out. You'll see at the end of the day here, we're going to go back. You're going to see exactly how all of these worked out really good to a T. Tesla, Meta. You're going to get a trade on them. You will. You generally get one every single day on all of these, especially with the Easy Entry Pro. So we will get a trade on Tesla. I guarantee it. I almost guarantee it. And you can see we got the trade on NQ too. We got a really good trade on NQ on that CIT range break. I think NQ, I got a target set for 770. Target for 770 on NQ. And if I don't get it, that's fine. So we're up about $3,800, I think I said, for the day on NQ. So when you look at these Easy Entry Pros, I told you I set these scales, right? You can see mine's out 10. I'm going to extend this out so it doesn't cloud, what we're looking at here. But the trades either work or they don't. So a lot of times, you see that if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You see this Tesla didn't work. It's still not working. But it's grinding down. And once it hits that level, you'll see she's going to drop. Same thing with Meta. Meta's got an Easy Entry Pro leg reset to the downside at 683.50. 683.50. If that breaks, you're going to see a nice move, probably down to VWAP or the 20 EMA. VWAP is right now on the midline on that cloud with the 200, so you got a lot of confluence in there. So I definitely, if you take Meta to the downside on that break, I would not try to hold this past 681.50 to the downside. Almost to our 770 target, is it, on NQ? And there's our NQ target right there. So we'll pull that off, and I'll wait for another setup. We have a CIT Range Pro hit right there. And I'll show you. Let me take this Range Pro out right here. So I'll show you the one that I'm looking at. If you're interested in Range Pro, just check out the links. Yellow triangle. Boom. Nice move. 770. We got a 18, 19 point move to the upside. We got a full move on that. And we also got the Easy Entry Pro break right here. So 2 great trades. If you're wondering how I came up with the 770, they're all calculations based on, it's an algorithm that I built, so I don't know how else to explain it without giving you all the sauce for free. But if you look at this, we have high volume coming in here. This is a momentum candle. And what I do is I mathematically calculate this candle out here, and it gives me a risk to reward at 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, wherever I want to put it at. This one here is at 2 to 1 right now. And the risk reward I set based on the average candle size, how many points per candle. And we hit that target to a T. It actually went to 776, but the body of that candle closed at 771.25. My target was set for 770.50. And if you're on YouTube, you cannot see the futures chart. You have to be in the live trading room. One of the biggest things is the YouTube is, I don't even know, a couple minutes behind, and that's not enough. I don't want anyone following me into a trade on NQ or anything like that, because you're going to get burned. You're better off just sitting in the room live, watching the chart live with us, and you can see it. You can see all the indicators functioning live. You can see how that Range Pro works there. Look at that nice, beautiful touches. This is an awesome indicator, you guys. There we go. We got another, I call these price traps. We got another price trap here, right? Consolidating. We'll wait for a break here on NQ. Wait for your colored triangle. Yellow to the upside, orange to the downside. And the reason why I colored them orange and yellow is because I have other triangles with Pivot Pro on here that are green and red. So just lets me know which one we're dealing with. And yes, I know I have too much shit on my charts. So once again, the way I play NQ, the way I've been playing, is I wait for my Easy Entry Pro right here. Here's my Easy Entry Pro. We get the break right here. So that's my move to the upside, which is nice. Then once that's over and done with, because you only get, one Easy Entry Pro per leg. Okay. So then after that, I just take these little ranges that break and Pivot Pros. On the way on those legs. Everything is ranging. Palantir pushing higher, breaking ORB. Palantir looks good to the upside. I shouldn't say it looks good. It's looking like it wants to move to the upside. Let's try some Palantir. A little bit of a chase, but probably should have gotten a little sooner on that one. Well, I know I should have. Almost, what, 0.5% roughly. A little over 0.5% move on that. See if Meta holds the ORB. If not, we'll have another retest of that area at 683.50, and if it hits 683.50, it's knocking on the door. She might break at that point. I have a purple candle forming right now, so that's telling me that there's a possibility there. NQ holding 20 on the 1 minute chart. You have an easy entry pro on Tesla to the upside. You have to wait for it to break if you want it. Remember, it's easy to talk yourself out of a trade. You play the probabilities. Watching Palantir, I'm going to take probably just one contract if it breaks that high there. Looking for the CIZ. See if we can get a nice grind to the crush it zone. We don't have enough zoom, I don't think, but we'll try. Just one, they're cheap. They're very, very cheap. They're $1.22, so. The one I'm more interested in is Meta here. She's still holding the line. You can see I have NQ to the downside. See if this wants to break. Looking just for an ORB. Got a CIT range break there. Almost a range break. You can see that this is why you gotta wait for the candle to close. So Meta could just stay in range here, but if it does break, I'm ready to go with 685s. They're about $3.70. There we go. Easy Incher Pro on the 1 minute to the downside with the CIZ. So we got a CIZ tag. So we're going to try a contract here on Meta. I got a full candle break here. If I can get this below, we'll go in on this one here. There we go. Nice on Meta. Remember, it's a scalp trade. We're not trying to hang on to this. %. So I'm looking for a VWAP on this. $25, 28% on that. And she may not go. That's why we trim. Looking for 682. I want to see if I can get 682 or I'm going to get out of this trade. Not going to give away any money. So watching it carefully. Look for VWAP on there. I'm done. I got out, but let's just see if we can get a VWAP. Entering on the 10-second chart. It's hard when it's moving fast. I'm trying to concentrate here. So if you know what I'm taking here, I'll pull it up right now. Here's Meta. So if you guys are wondering where I'm getting in at, put the 10-second chart up here. Okay, I'm kind of multitasking. I'm looking at the 1 minute also. So I'll show you what I'm looking at here. There's my full candle right there on the 10-second chart. It's the entire candle below right here, down to VWAP. Okay, this one candle right here paid very well. Okay, it wasn't the biggest move, but this one here got in really well. Was at about 73 cents on there. And I also took one starter, right? And I'll show you on the 1 minute here on this Easy Incher Pro. So this Easy Incher Pro is forming right here, right? So this was the 1 minute, and this is what I took the starter on, and then I took the rest and I added them in on that 10-second chart right there. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. It's tough to concentrate. That's why I like to tell you how I play it. It's tough to concentrate and be on the mic and try to take these trades all at the same time. So I'm constantly moving and shaking and doing different things. I shouldn't say different things, but I'm trying to share with you what my strategy is and how I get in on that. So So now that you see NQ, I want to show you this in case you wonder what I'm doing. If I start screaming that I'm making money, here is the CIT range. Let me put this up. I'm done. I'm flat all trades right now. So I'm going to show you this real quick so you can see. Let me open up the CIT range right here, and I'm going to show all past. I'm going to show you how I do this. So it's going to look messy. First thing I do is I wait for my Easy Entry Pro, or if I missed my Easy Entry Pro and I didn't get the trade, then I move on to the next one. And then you can see that yellow triangle right here. So that's just telling me that we're breaking outside of that range. So if you hear me talking about it beforehand, there's no question I'm taking these. When that breaks, you can see the biggest drawdown you get on there is about 20 points on that one. So that candle closes. So after that candle closes, the biggest drawdown was about 20 points. You may have gotten stopped out. You may have taken it, but we still didn't get that break there. So what happens now is when price, like this candle right here, if you can see this candle right here. So I want to show you how I'm scalping these, getting these trades. So this candle, like I said, I got it on backtest mode, so it's going to look messy, so my apologies. You see this range right here? This is the range. This is the Easy Entry Pro. There's your range. Price breaks. I don't have a yellow triangle. There's my yellow triangle. There it is. So now what I do is I take that high right there and I wait for price to push above. So on this candle right here, you can see that price was pushing above that level, right? Above that yellow triangle level, it's pushing above. It doesn't matter if it closes or not, it pushes. So then I get into the trade there, right? That's where I get into the trade. And then you can see the biggest drawdown here, where is it? Was roughly about 10 points, right? And then we ended up getting about 20-point move on that. Does that make sense? Do you see how I do that? And let me turn this off now so you can see we got a range pro right now trying to work out, but we don't have a yellow triangle, so let's forget about that one. So here's a yellow triangle right here on this one, and I wait now for price to start getting below that, and this one here, we don't get a move on, so we get stopped out of that one. Now we're waiting for the another one here to set up. That's how I'm playing these. The thing I don't like about this one here is I have a green Easy Entry Pro with a move to the downside in the cloud. So I need an Easy Entry Pro to the downside here to take that to the downside also. So it's something I would be skeptical of. But like here's a yellow triangle, everything's green. Let's watch this here. Let's watch this trade right here. And I'll wait now. Let me fix this here so you can show you what I'm doing. And I'll just wait. We got to wait a minute for this to close, and then we'll wait for the next candle that pushes above that high of that candle. Does that make sense? I know that we started out talking about meta, and I moved over to here, but I'm trying to show you like how I play these so that when you see the price action taking place, you can independently make that decision, obviously, because we all trade just a little bit different. I'm doing my best to let you know when I'm getting into these trades, but I'll try this NQ if we can get that push right there. So now you can see we're on the top of that range right there. We got confluence with the Bollinger Band. Okay, now let's wait to see if we get a push above there, and we'll take that trade. We'll see if it works out. And if it doesn't, then we get stopped. And if I get antsy and I don't like the way price action is looking, I can always close out of my trade with $1 or $2 or a negative $10, right? There's nothing that's keeping me from having to stay in the trade. Futures is definitely a different beast. You can see we have a rejection, that confluence of the Bollinger Bands there. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is trust it. Your mind wants to step in and say, you're crazy. There we go. We just got our win. Did you just take the NQ with me? I just talked all the way through it. We just got our win. We got a full scale on that one. You should be down to a trailer. My break even is set. And that's it. It's that easy. I know I make it sound easier than what it is, but I just walked through that whole thing. Hopefully you were following along. And there we go. Now the rest is getting filled out. There's $420 right there. Got a good fill on that one. A really good fill. Were you here with me at this one, Amir? Did you watch me go through that trade there real quick on the NQ? Just curious. And if you guys are interested, in a little bit here, I will go through a back test and I will show you how I do these entries on the Easy Entry Pro and Meta and Tesla, and you'll see how all of these win. You know, once you understand the process, it's all good from there. Good, I hope that helped. Did you grab it with me or did you just watch? So once again, let's take a look at this messy chart I got here. Beta testing the 9. So we got another, and by the way, I'm going to sidetrack. I got another CIT range on NQ, and we'll play it the same exact way again. You can go ahead and back test that too. You have that indicator, so you can look at it. I like that rejection off of Tesla to 200. So we're coming down to the 20 on the daily. You can see I blew up the chart because I got all eyes on that one. Little scalp trade. And by the way, I was busy talking and trading NQs and other things. We did have the Easy Entry Pro to Tesla. I think I did call it earlier. It did break to the upside, little choppy. And I told you this before, you guys, I talk about this. If it doesn't break within, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, and this one here did break, right? Once it breaks that level there, you can see it is choppy. You can either get out of it, walk away from it, whatever you want to do, but it ended up being a really good trade up to the 200. Really good trade on Tesla there, you guys. Nice job, Amir. I don't know that I would have taken this Easy Entry Pro on Tesla, to be honest with you. Although I can look back with FOMO and go, oh, I wish I would have taken it because it worked out. But realistically, I don't know that I would have taken it. Let's go back and focus in on Meta just a little bit here. See if there's another scalp trade on it. By the way, I scalp differently than I do playing the Easy Entry Pro on the big trades during the daytime, like the earlier ones. There we go. See if Tesla breaks the ORB. If Tesla breaks ORB, you guys, I might try this to the upside. So if we get above the 200 in the ORB here on Tesla, I do like it. Remember how I get in. Nice job, Amir. Kick ass. He took a SPY position earlier that is rocking. I mean, he's got, I think, over 30 points, 35 points on that thing. Bought way down at the 200, below the 200. Down to 10%. Yeah, good job. So we're breaking the 200 here. So now, I'm watching my 10-second chart, looking for a full candle break above this ORB right here. Okay. Looking for a full candle break on the 15-second on Tesla. I need a bullish candle. There it is. You can either wait for a quick pullback, or you can bail out and not like the trade, or you can try it. Wait for the pullback. See if she wants to keep going. Right? So there's the pullback on it. Oh no, I didn't get filled on it. Oh well, I guess I'll bail on that one. Shit. That's what I get for not saying enter here. Or maybe it's just not going to work. Okay, let's watch NQ. If you're in Tesla, you're scalping, you try to get that move up to the CIZ, but be careful on it. It's choppy Friday. I think Meta might want to try to hit. We got a level here at Meta that's, there we go. Meta's looking good here, high a day. There you go. Look at that Tesla move, you guys. Ah, I didn't get filled on it. Congrats to those that took that. Nice. Damn, I did not get filled on it. Shit. I hope someone took that Tesla move. I explained exactly how we get into these trades, how we play them, right? You got that break right there. Told you about that break. We broke the 200 on the daily right there. Full candle break. Look at that move up to the CIZ. Nice bull trend moving. Look at that. Look at that. Here, as you can see the indicator up there, right there. It says bull trend. It says bull trend. The level that we're trying to hit right here is the CIZ. Let me blow this up on Tesla. I did not get filled on this. Kind of a bummer. But I'd be looking for a move up to at least 403.38. Did we get a $2 move on this break? And we did. So you got a full target on Tesla. Nice move. And then also NQ, you can see that we have a range pro break. You got your yellow triangle. There's your candle. She breaks above. And right now we had a full winning trade right there. 20 points on NQ. You guys, we got some movement. We should be doing really, really well today. It should be clicking. Is this clicking for you guys? You can see that target according to the data, right? Look at that target we had here on Meta, and look at where it pulled back at. This target is based on weeks of data on what Tesla's been doing. And then what it do is it's dynamic, so it's always updating. So we'll have the current data for the current month, and then the data for the last 3 months, and then maybe the data a year ago. Because I only go back on averages about 1 to 3 months, because obviously stocks change. They could be trading at $100 per share today and $400 per share in 6 months. It's hard to say. So it's constantly dynamic. So I take the data, I put the data down every day, and it's dynamic. So it's telling me what the 1 year average was, the 3 month, and the 1 month, and then the last week or two. It's the last 2 weeks. I call it the week, but it's the last 2 weeks of data for 1 week of information. Well, you guys, we had a pretty good day today. And remember earlier, I'm going to do a recap right now. Maybe I'll wait just a minute here for you guys. I'll do a recap in a minute here. We got Tesla. We're waiting to get to the crush it zone to see if we get that move. You can see it's following the 9 EMA. And then we have NQ with another range pro, and waiting for a break, yellow triangle on a break, and we'll see if we can continue on that. And I would love it to see to the upside versus the downside. And the biggest reason is you can see I have the dots. This is my 9 EMA is the dots. And then you have the range pro here. So we got nice distance above the cloud. So we are looking bullish. So if we do break to the upside, it's good. Now this one here, we can break to the downside sort of easy. You can see the last range pro we had that broke to the downside didn't work. And I was telling you why. And just look at it right here. You can see that we're in the cloud. And it did not have distance. But the ones that have distance to the cloud are more likely to break into the cloud. Let's keep your eye on NQ. Watch your range pro here. There's going to be no CIZ no CIZs or easy entry pros, and the reason is that they've already happened, and the trade is legging up. It's trending to the upside. So no go on Tesla. You should be done with that trade. Hey, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. I'm just waiting for this last range pro to see if it works out. I love playing these in the pre-market. I just sit here and play them all morning. We'll wait for the yellow triangle. We'll wait for the next candle to break, and boom, hopefully we get another trade on NQ here. So you can see we're live on YouTube now. So what I'm working on here this weekend, part of the things I'm going to be working on is the P&L. So you'll be able to see the P&L live for futures, and you'll have a P&L live for stocks, and then I'll have a live year to date. Watching Tesla break there too. Look at that nice move. Tesla's going to hit that CIZ, isn't it? By the way, like on futures, when I get my first big trade, every trade I take after that, I take less and less contracts. I don't get greedy. I'm not taking, I take 2 to 3 minis in the pre-market, and then I go down to micros. So I might be taking like 5 micros, maybe 3 micros on this. I take less and less every time. There we go, Tesla. There it is. I'll let this play out because when I do the recap, I'll show you what I talked about earlier today. You can wait for the pullback here, or you can just take the trade and keep your fingers crossed. Another thing, you got to think about the chain of events, where you're at in the leg also. It's got a pretty big run in that leg. So something to think about there. Got to pull back down to the 9. That was an 18-point move on that range break, a full move. There's your pullback. A little bit too deep for me. We do got room to move down to the 20 on that. So, and this will be interesting to see if we get a twin fair value gap, which is getting squished out. So that's a no-go. There's your pullback to the 9 on NQ. So you're looking at, 20, 24 points right there, you guys. And then you got Tesla hitting the crush it zone. Get your targets hit on that. So that worked out beautifully, both of those trades here. Everyone doing okay? We got that nice move on Tesla. I'll do the recap here in just a minute here. Nice price, another price capture on NQ. So it's extending, right? It's extending the range on that. So we have to wait for another one. Here I was showing you there's a couple different ways you play this, right? So you have the yellow triangle here. And I just said, you heard me say it before it happened. You can wait for the pullback and take to the 9. And you get a nice winning trade to the upside. But you also got to keep track of, look at how big the leg is here too. Okay, so if we're early in the leg, we're more likely to go bullish. This has got some distance to the 20, so we have high volume coming into the downside here. So you should be considering that. If we break the level on NQ, if we break below 26,830, 25, we'll consider a move. But now I have a target set down to 26,780. So 26,780 is a target to the downside here. So I'm a little bit interested in a move to the downside here on NQ. And that would bring us down to the Bollinger Bands and the 50 SMA. Look at Tesla go. God, I hope somebody got that trade. I didn't get filled on it. I did not get filled on it. I wasn't going to chase it. I don't like chasing. Those are up like $500-600 a contract. So you can see we got to the far side of the CIZ on Tesla. Still bull trending here. Now, if we bust through this, we don't have any CIZ indicators on this. None. So we'll wait to see if we get a CIZ. And if it doesn't give us and it breaks, so we'll wait for the retest for continuation higher, then I'll have another entry and possibility on Tesla to the upside there. There's your NQ to the downside. It's an easy entry pro. We have an easy entry pro leg reset. Wait for that candle to close. I told you how I get into these trades, so nice move. We're going to hit our target here. This is just the first target. Now we got that closure there. Remember, I told you where that target was at, right? Told you I have a target at 780, 780 target. We do have a pivot pro that comes in before at 800, 26,800. No orange candles. Here's your pullback on that break. Watching the 10-second to see if there's a possible entry. We're back into the range on NQ, so we'll wait for another break on that. That almost hit my target. You see we got to the midline of the cloud there on NQ. Meanwhile, Tesla's still moving. You can see we had that reaction on the far side of the crush it zone. And she's still trending bull, so we'll wait for that break and retest there. No trade on NQ yet. For me, anyways. You might have gotten that rejection there with that easy entry pro on the 1 minute or the 10-second break there. I had a breaker bar set at 844, 26,844 on the 10-second, which broke. It was a high volume. To the downside here. So Let's go Tesla, man. Major FOMO on Tesla. Did not get my fill on that. Amir, did you get into that Tesla move? I have a feeling you did. I hope you did anyways. I really hope you did. Everyone. I tell you, I at least tried. I just couldn't get filled and I wasn't going to chase it, so. But I'm looking for another entry here on it. If we break it here and we retest the CIZ, the 2.0 or either the 1.382 area, I'll consider a very small position on it to the upside. Good job, Greg. You know, if you had taken that Tesla from the beginning of that Easy Entry Pro, you'd be up, I don't know, like $800 a contract? NQ's got distance. Looking at the 5 minute and the 3. I got the 5, the 1, the 3, 5 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute, and the 10-second up here. Kind of going through all of these, seeing what kind of moves we can put together in NQ. I do like it to the downside here, though. But I don't know if it's ready yet. It's just not ready yet. Thing with the Tesla, that 200, you know, it's self-fulfilling prophecy there. You know, everybody was watching and waiting for that thing to break above the 200 today. You know it. That's why she wouldn't go to the downside. Everybody was waiting for that. And when that thing went, everybody piled in on that thing. 52% gain for Greg on that. Good job. Congratulations. Still waiting for an Easy Entry Pro break. The 5 minute has an Easy Entry Pro on NQ. And these take a little bit longer to work out. Definitely got some distance. So on the 5 minute, we got an Easy Entry Pro. We got distance, which is about 50 points to the downside. So I'm definitely willing to take this one if we can get this break here. So I'm just waiting. Yeah, it is fun, isn't it? It's fun when you're on the right side of the trade. And if I could promote Easy Entry Pro, that's the job of Easy Entry Pro. It puts you on the right side of the trade. And here's the deal. It's tough to manage a good trade if you don't get a good entry. If you got a shitty entry on something, it's very tough to manage a trade. And, Easy Entry Pro doesn't work out 100% of the time, but there's definitely a lot of indicators that keep you from getting into some of the trades. And when you get into the trade, it is a good trade. And it's a lot easier to manage that trade on those entries. CIZ, Tesla, got an indicator, but it's passed. So this usually means a retest. Yeah, that's the thing. I say it every morning, Greg, is persistence. Don't come into the day thinking, oh, got an Easy Entry Pro, and you go all in on your small account and you get locked out of trading for this day because you lost, right? You went in too big. You have to take your account and you have to, be prepared to take one or two trades. Now, in my opinion, 90% of the time, the first ones do work out. But you have days like today where you take the first one, it doesn't work out. Maybe the second one doesn't. But you stay persistent because you're going to get that win. You are going to get it. I don't want to say guarantee it, but you're going to get the win if you're persistent. Tesla's showing a potential move down to the 20 EMA here. I think people are they're bailing out. They made their money. Everybody was in this trade just to take that break of the 200. They pushed it up, and now everyone's going to take profits. So we'll look at that. $405 puts on Tesla would be down to the 20 EMA or the midline, which is the 35 EMA. So NQ still in that range, waiting for that 5 minute to break. We're being patient. The thing about futures, the difference between futures and playing options, you can't jump in early on futures and get away with it. You can jump in on Tesla if you can ride the rodeo. You can jump in early on an easy entry pro on options, and you can ride the rodeo and you can get your win. The problem with NQ or futures, and you're trying to get in early on a play, it'll shake you out. It'll shake you out very quick. So NQ still holding that 5 minute easy entry pro. It's a leg reset. You can see that the previous 5 minute easy entry pro also did not work out. Okay, but we're on the third easy entry pro on this leg, and I know because I collect data. I know this because I collect data. We're kind of at the end. If this one doesn't work, then the fourth one's going to work. Okay, so I know we are 3 easy entry pros into this leg on the 5. And like I said, if this does not work out, I know you have a higher probability of the second one working out. All right. Let's see if Tesla wants to break. If Tesla breaks the 20 here. Once again, a lot of people are watching this, and a lot of people are watching to see if Tesla breaks the 20, and they're gonna short this thing. They're gonna short it. So I'm getting ready here. And my level, which lines up with the median of the cloud on Tesla, target wise would be 402. I'll go probably 402.50 would be my target to the downside here, possibly on Tesla, possibly if it does break. Okay, so NQ, not wanting to give it to us. Let's look for high volume to the upside here on NQ if it's going to push higher. If that does, that'll probably push Tesla higher. So we got a yellow triangle trying to form on NQ. Rejection on the high. I think, is it NQ's all-time highs? So you can see if you look at Tesla, we got neutral. So that neutral means exactly what it says. It's neutral. There's no need to get into the trade. There's no need to take anything here. But you watch, that breaks the 20. It's most likely going to read bearish at that point, and you got to be able to get in and get out quick. I don't know how quick it's going to move. Definitely trading much longer than I'd like to today, but that's all right. It's kind of fun. You can see the cloud starting to morph on Tesla too. And this right here, there we go. We're almost got a bearish indicator there. You can see it's toggling. So she wants to go bearish on us. See how this candle closes. If this candle closes with that bear trend, I'll take a starter to the downside. This could be the pop before the drop. So we're looking at a pop and drop possibility here on Tesla. Look for the far side of the crush zone and a rejection. We are at the midline of the crush zone, and we did not close below the midline, which means it's not ready to go yet. So this will be interesting. There's no trade for me on this. We're showing bearish and going bullish. We needed this to drop below the 20 right here on Tesla. NQ's also starting to drop. Let's see if it's going to give it to us or it's going to make us wait. You can see NQ has to close below 826, right? You can see it's holding the midline on the cloud, and we got confluence there. It's going to be a tough one to knock here. It's going to be a tough one. Same thing with Tesla. It's at the midline, right? At the 50% of our zone, of the crush zone, and it's holding. It's not closing below the 50% of the crush zone, and you have the 20 right there, the 20 EMA on the 1 minute chart, you guys. I'm on the 1 minute chart on Tesla, by the way. In case you want to see what the 3 minute looks like, it's kind of the same thing. We're in bullish territory, but we got to close below the 9 EMA on this one here. And if we close below the 9, we have distance. This was our target right in here. So we have distance right down to the 20 EMA here. So if we break this, you got about a $2 move. This is why my eyes are on it, because on the distance, it's showing that we got room to make some money. Now, if the 20 EMA and our levels were a lot closer, maybe $1 away, I would not be considering that trade. Here we go. NQ to the downside. See if we get a little scalper here. Got to break it. I got my finger on the trigger here. Come on. Right, I'm in it. I took it on the pullback there. I'll get out quickly if I need to. Not looking good. Tesla's moving off that 9 to the upside. I'm trying to. There we go. Nice on NQ, you guys. See how we got that break there? Let's see if we can get this to finish out for us. There we go. I need just a couple more points on that. That's my target right there. Almost there. We're almost to our target. Come on, baby. There we go. Got a trim on that. Now it's break even. 3 micros. Just 3 micros. Nothing big. We got a closer below the midline there, so we'll see if this wants to continue. We could get a pop before we get a drop. We got a high volume candle to the downside. Another have another target of about 800 on NQ. Different level of play here. All right, you guys. It's 11:15, and I'm kind of enjoying myself sitting here watching price action. That's my problem. Is sometimes I get sucked into sitting here watching charts, and that's one of my rules. Is not sit here all day and get sucked into charts. So I'm going to recap this real quick. I was hoping that Tesla was going to maybe make a move sooner than later. I still believe everything I was saying. I still believe that NQ and Tesla do want to move to the downside. For that retest anyways, but it may not happen, and I'm not going to sit here and wait for it. So we're already done for the day. I ended my day up. Hang on here. Look at that move. I had a couple losses in here, but ended the day. Let's see here. $17.35, I think it is. $17.35. $17.35. Haven't really hit my compounding goal yet. I've been trying to compound, and I haven't hit that. But if you're watching Tesla still for that break to the upside, it's showing bullish trend now on the 3. I'm going to look at the 1 real quick here. Still neutral on the 1. All right, let's just go over. I'll start with the meta real quick here. I'm going to make this very quick. Easy Entry Pro is not difficult, right? So I'll just show you what I did here. We have an Easy Entry Pro right here. Okay, got stopped out on this one here, this Easy Entry Pro, not a big deal. Double down, we got the next Easy Entry Pro, and you can see that the move on this one, let me show you. I got stopped out, and I got in right about here, I think it was. And about a $2 stop out right there. The move was about $2, and then when we got back into the trade, with the Easy Entry Pro to the upside, right? Persistence is key. And we got a nice, I can't even fit it all on the chart here. So we got maybe we'll go up a little bit, but about $8. So if you got stopped out with a $2 move, you should have had enough contracts left over, right? You don't want to throw it all in on the first trade, and you should have made 3 times as much on the move to the upside than you did to the downside. You could have the best strategy in the world, you guys, the best strategy in the world, but if you're not managing it accordingly, then you can easily have red days on the best strategy in the world. Okay? Does that make sense? So if you're wondering why, and I know this because I hear this from people, we just hit the target, by the way, on NQ. I showed you that, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that. Hit a target there. Waiting for the Easy Entry Pro. I'm going to pause here for a second, and I'm just going to wait a minute here on NQ. See what this Easy Entry Pro wants to do. Don't want to walk away from a trade. About 2 seconds, 1 second left in that trade there. There we go. Waiting for that Easy Entry Pro. See if that gives us anything here. Just waiting. Oh, look at the volatility on that thing. Wow. Is she going to dump? Easy entry to the downside. Nice here. NQ. Quick. This is quick. Make sure you're not messing around. Boom, looking for the 805. You should have got one trim out of there already. This one dumped quick. All right, I'm out. I'm out. I was up $200 on it, but I ended up with $55 on it, so that's all right. Too volatile. I don't like the movement on it. A lot of volume just jumped in right there. Wow. I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks too. Look at the time. It's 11:20. We've been getting a lot of volatility between 11 and 11:30. Some big time volatility at that time frame. So, 5-minute Easy Entry Pro hit all the targets. I would wait if you're going to take this to the downside again. I would wait for a break on 26.812 ish, or 26.813, 14, somewhere's in there. That was very fast. I could have easily lost my ass on that one. So, like I said, I was up about 230 and I ended up down, or I ended up only $55. So, anyways, let's go back to the recap quick here on Meta. You could easily talk yourself out of the trade. A couple things I want to show you here is the fact that, when I talk about talking yourself out of the trade, you have the 200 SMA here on the daily. And, I say this because I keep track of the data, so I know that, yes, the 200 SMA is there, but that does not mean a whole lot. It means things, but it doesn't mean a whole lot when you're playing the Easy Entry Pro strategy, because the Easy Entry Pro is on its own, and all the data, when I say 90% win rate on the Easy Entry Pro, it really is. That's actually low. It's actually higher than that, but I don't want to. There's nothing that's 100%. And when I say that, it's all in how you manage it and how you manage yourself emotionally here. If your emotions are stepping in and you start saying, well, this is here, that's there, this is happening, it may reject, it may not. But look at what we have here. So we have an Easy Entry Pro to the 200. We have a $2 move on Meta. Right, we do get that candle right there is $3.84, right? So there's definitely room to make money here, right? You just have to be able to manage through this. Trust the data. Trust the data all day long. If you're still watching that NQ, it's a little bit too volatile for me at the moment, so that's why I'm not really interested in it. I don't like to play high volatility, not with my Lucid account. So anyways, hopefully this is helping out. That's Meta, you guys. You know, I took a starter here. I got stopped out. Not a big deal. I took the second one. We got a really big trade there. So persistence. And technically, I get into these trades early. Okay, let's go down to the 10-second or the 15-second. Let's mark this out right here. Let's go down to the 15-second chart real quick, and let's see how this plays out. So, okay, I'll show you right where I'm supposed to get into this trade on Meta. And actually, let me go back to the 3-minute real quick because I got to mark this out, right? So my Easy Entry Pro on Meta right here. Okay, I got to mark this. So this is where the candle closed right there. So that is where the level is. Now let's go down to the 10-second. Okay. So I'm waiting for a full candle closure. So here is, on the 15-second, here is my bearish full candle closure right there. This is where I get into my trade. That's where I get in. You can see it right there. So I take the trade. She moves back up, right? I have another level. It rejects, so I stay in the trade. And then finally, when we get above that VWAP area there, you can see on the 3-minute, this is where I get out of the trade. Okay? It doesn't work out. Whoops, I'm on the wrong day. Right? We produce this green candle here, and then we get out of the trade. So now the rhythm starts over again. And you have another Easy Entry Pro entry right here. So we move this over right here, you guys. There's your Easy Entry Pro. There's the arrow right there. I'll put that there. So we'll look for our move now on the 10-second. So if you hear me say, I'm going to get into a trade, and I get into that Viper mode where I'm focusing, right? And you say, I didn't hear you. Just, I want you to know what I'm doing. You can expect that I'm most likely in a trade if I say I'm getting into a trade, okay? There's no triangles on that CIT range. There is the first triangle right there in the CIT range there. I'll go back and I'll show you that, guys, again, too. So here is our first. This one's touching. This one's touching. This one's touching. This one's above VWAP. That's my very first one right there. And it, like I said, it either works or it doesn't. And there's your move right there on the 10-second. There's your entry right there, right there, right there. You see that on Meta, okay? So a lot of times the 15-second, you know, you won't even have this on here. But this one here, it gave it, and then it rejected, and we got stopped out. But most of the time, it's a victory. Okay, let's go to Tesla real quick. Let's talk about this because I want to talk about what I said earlier, and that was computer's starting to lock up. Wait on NQ. If you're taking NQ to the upside, wait for price to get above that high and then enter, or you can wait for the pullback. It's a big candle. Let's get some of the 10-second. Here's your pullback. All right. So you get your pullback. You can try to get in off the 20 there, off that retest of the CIT range, and take that to the upside and wait for that break of that previous candle. And you also have an Easy Entry Pro here, by the way. I didn't notice that till just now. So when that does break, there's another price capture. You got a target of 848.75. Okay. So I said this on Tesla. Did not take this one earlier because I was in Meta. This one here didn't work out. And I said, hey, you know, you think that something's not going to work out. And I said, at the end of the day, you're going to see firsthand, you are going to see, right, that we're going to come back and go, oh, yeah, there's the trade. And look at the Tesla trade today, right? It did exactly what I said, right? We got our Easy Entry Pro. Price broke. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, Tesla takes generally 1 or 2 candles more than Meta to break. And by the way, your target is filled on NQ if you were in it. If you played that range pro to the upside, you should be sitting pretty damn good. All right. And same thing with Tesla on that retest on the crush it zone. Too many acronyms here. But look at that break. That's all I got to say. This is easy. There's nothing to think about. You just take the Easy Entry Pros. If you get stopped out, take the next one. Look at the move. It's 4 times the move, 5 times the move. Let's just see. If you had taken this one here, whenever you got in, you'd have gotten stopped out somewhere in here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. You would have stopped yourself out. You could say, what, about $3.50 roughly? Maybe we'll just say $4. So 4 times 4 is 16. So if you got into this trade here on this Easy Entry Pro break, we have well, so far it's 12, but we had the initial run about $12. So we got 3 times the move, right? We got about 3 times the move on that. So if you take 3 times the move, take the first third, that's your payback, and the other 2 thirds of that trade, that's your winning trade, okay? So here on Tesla, what happened here is we hit the CIZ, right? The crush it zone. We came back, we retested it. I told you if it blows through. These are not the ones I like. I like it when they break through and they retest the 1.32 on the top side. But this one didn't really do that. Let me go to the 10-second chart here. See if we can see that retest area. You can see it retesting right in here. But at any rate, good trade on Tesla for those of you that did get it. I think Greg is the only one that actually took that. I'm not going to recap anything else because that's really all I trade is Meta and Tesla. Everything else, just for shits and giggles, I'll just show you. MU, Easy Entry Pro to the downside. There's your winning trade. That one pays very well. Another shit and giggle one here. We got Palantir, right? Choppy as hell, but still worked out. So, all right, you guys. That's it. That's all I got for the day. Hopefully I didn't talk your ear off here. Good trading. We had great opportunities for a Friday. And right after 11 o'clock there, we had some pretty good momentum come in on NQ. So I think that's going to end the stream for now. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. But I'm going to take off and get out of here. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys bright and early